Hey guys, Mr. Stanwood again. We are on lesson 5.5b, which we're going to talk about the x and y intercepts, which we have in the past, but now we're going to talk about them with standard form. And our objective today is to find the x and y intercepts from linear equations starting with standard form. So let's dive right into it. But a couple of reminders, excuse me, about intercepts. So we learned previously that the x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. Yeah, x-intercept. Sounds like intersection, but it's actually intercept. So what is always going to be true about an x-intercept? Okay. All right, good. What will always be true about an x-intercept? The y value will be 0. All right, the y value will always be 0 of an x-intercept. And if we switch that, that will also always be true. The x value of a y-intercept will always be 0 as well. So that leads us to this. All right, please take note of this. The x value of the y-intercept, make sure that processes, the x value of the y-intercept is 0. So if I were to write it as an ordered pair, it would always be 0, comma, your value. All right, and switching that around, let's do it in green. Now let's do it blue. No, I don't want to confuse it with that. The y value of the x-intercept is 0. So that would be your number first, and then 0. So your x-intercept and y-intercept look just like this. And it's actually something we basically talked about earlier in this chapter, but this is just a reminder because now we're going to be able to find this directly from our equations. Okay, remembering that if you want to find the x-intercept, the y value is 0, and if you want to find the y-intercept, the x is 0. So now let's take a look at an equation that's in standard form, and I say try to find. Let's find the x and y-intercept. Okay, so in order to do that, remember, let's first find the x-intercept. What will be true about our x-intercept? Well, the y value is 0. So all I'm going to do to find my x-intercept when my equation is in standard form is I'm going to plug 0 in for y. And if I plug 0 in for y, I'm going to multiply that by the coefficient, and that will just cancel it out. That's why I have this creepy hand over here. Did you notice a creepy hand? So pretty much, if I want to find the x-intercept, that zero's going there. I cover up what the y value because it'll cancel out whatever it is. And now if you look, I just have a one-step equation. So the x-intercept is when y is 0, it goes away. So now all I need to do is divide both sides by 3, and my x-intercept is going to just be 8, because 24 divided by 3, divide this side by 3, gives me 8. Okay, so now using that same idea, can you find, let's do this one in red, can you find the y-intercept? Take a second, however long you want. I'm going to pause the video in a matter of a second and find the y-intercept. Great. Let's see. Did you cover up your the x, and you're left with a one-step equation? 4y equals 24. Divide both sides, and we get the y-intercept to be 6. All right. So this would be 0, 6 if we wanted to write it as an ordered pair, and my x-intercept would be 8, 0. If we wanted to write that as an ordered pair. All right, perfect. Good example. Now let's try one on your own. Go ahead. Try to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Take as much time as you need of 5x minus 6y equals 60. Go ahead. All right. For the x-intercept, cover up the y. My x-intercept is going to just be 12. Because I'm going to divide both sides by 5. 60 divided by 5 is 12, and that just leaves me with my x value. To find my y-intercept, I got to be careful with my creepy hand thing. You have to take the sign in front. So I want to divide to find my y-intercept. I'm going to need to divide by negative 60. Divide by negative, and that'll give me negative 10. So my x-intercept is 12, or 12 comma 0. My y-intercept is negative 10, or 0 comma negative 10. Let's go one step further. Can we find, oh, I said crazy. What are the intercepts of this equation that's in slope-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b, remember. I have a hint that says change to standard form, but before I change it to standard form, I already know one of the intercepts. Which intercept do I actually already know? Hopefully you did come up with y-intercept. The y-intercept is b, it's just this one. So my y-intercept already I know is 1. All right, my y-intercept is 1. So now in order to find the x-intercept, I should just rearrange it. I'm going to add 2x and add 2x. The reason I want to rearrange it is to change it into standard form. And I want to get 2x plus y equals 1. So again, to do a quick check, if I wanted to figure out my y-intercept, I would make x 0 and just cancel that out. And I'd be left with just the equation y equals 1. But now I want to find the x-intercept. The x-intercept is when y is 0, so I'm just going to plug 0 in for my y. It goes away because it's 0. And I'm just left with 2x equals 1. I'm going to need to divide both sides by 2. So my x-intercept is actually 1/2. All right, so my y-intercept, as I wrote, was 0 comma 1. If I wanted to write it as an ordered pair, or I could say my y-intercept is the value of 1. My x-intercept is 1/2. If I wanted to write it as an ordered pair, it would be 1/2 comma 0. And that is it. All right, that's all there is to finding the x and y-intercept from linear equations. Preferably, not preferably, but easier if it's in standard form. I want you to complete IXL S18 and your mastery check.